China's New Normal, the podcast that explores the evolving challenges and opportunities for multinational corporations operating in China. As the era of rapid growth and easy market entry fades, businesses now face a maturing market characterized by increased competition, shrinking margins, and shifting consumer behavior.
Today, we've got a fantastic guest with us, Thomas Knoop, General Manager for the Benelux Chamber of Commerce in East China. He has been playing a big role in helping Benelux companies grow their business presence here in China. Thomas is new to China neither. He been here for almost 15 years, about 30 years ago. He started his own company, Knoop International, providing customer communication on the online conversation app solutions. He is also the co-founder of C6E, a community that brings together experts focused on customer experience, help them build resources, networks, and knowledge in China. Here, we are excited to have Thomas with us today.
Whatever mindset you have, it will be changed over your visit. Only then you might think of next steps, which is a reliable partner to do the market research, maybe registration of IP or brand, etc., etc. Yeah, that would be my first advices for any company that considers going to China.
Yeah, you mentioned that you have to come here yourself, right?
Yes.
Visit to see the real market, to feel that. Sometimes we don't.
The feel is China speed. Take a train to Hangzhou and go with 380 kilometers per hour and travel. That is China speed. You need to see that yourself. You can't. We can talk about it for hours, but the person that is on the other side of the screen, I think, it will just. You don't have the feeling. If you have been here, you've smelled the air, you've done the travel, you've seen the pace. Only then you can really understand what is happening here.
We've seen that a lot since the reopening of China after COVID and free visa and so many countries. The number of people who had misconceptions about China, but even before COVID, I would say that's true on Western media, what it is to travel and maybe live a little in China. I think it's always important for that to reassess what you think about China.
Yeah, in the past 6 months, I've received at least 7 or 8 delegations from all kinds of industries. And the one thing that they say is, it is so different than we thought it would be. They are all flabbergasted and speechless of what is happening here, and you can name anything, whether it's the electric cars on the road, whether it's the not polluted air, because everybody thinks it's polluted here, whether it's the state security and you will followed. Their minds are just completely flabbergasted and say none of it is actually the reality. But we can say that 500 times. It doesn't matter. People need to experience that before they really believe it. So that's why the number one step is visit yourself. Make up your own opinion. That's the most important.
And I think also it's a good, even though people might not speak Chinese, a lot of Chinese can speak English, but it's face in China, Mianzi, is very important. So paying a visit, especially from people who are making the decisions, even if it's just a few days, has a huge impact on the people you meet here, because they see the Laoban, they see the boss.
It's a way of showing respect for the people that you're going to do business with, and seeing those people in person, having a dinner with them, having a deeper connection with them will always be beneficial for the future. Not showing up and keeping everything online. It is a way, but not typically a very successful way.
So,
of companies that just don't make it. Typically, it's not adapting to the local market. But you also see very successful large brands. For instance, KFC. On every corner of the street you can find KFC. And I was a little bit surprised in the beginning when I arrived in China and I went to the KFC. I thought, oh, this is also spicy and old. But actually, that's the reason why they succeeded. In the beginning, they had a team in the West that was designing the breakfast menus, which was all muffins and bacon and egg. Right? It didn't go well until they released the menu design to China, when it was all replaced with some porridge and things that people eat here.
Yeah, that we don't expect to see in a fast food restaurant.
Right. So you will see many products that you will see never on anywhere in the world. And that's okay. You have the option as a brand to redefine yourself in China. Typically, you should. There's some more examples like IKEA or Aldi, which is a supermarket chain.
Aldi is doing great.
Aldi is doing great here, but in the Netherlands, it is, or in Europe, it is considered as a lower end supermarket. You go there for the cheap products. In China, you go for quality
And good prices.
and even good prices. Not the cheapest, but compared to the quality, everybody is happy to pay a little bit more than the cheapest. So on average, it's still a very decent price. IKEA also here is at least a medium brand, but you could almost say a higher end brand. While in Europe, where IKEA started, you would go there as a student. So it's a completely different positioning of your brand. And it's not that difficult because nobody knows your brand anyway. So whenever you position your brand when you're coming from abroad to China is fine. There's no clash because you don't have a brand in China, because typically people don't know you unless you're a luxury brand, but then anyway you would already be here.
Long-term taxes, rents, etc.
Yeah, so China is you can have short-term success, but they're focused on the long term. That starts with the 5-year plans that are presented and adjusted every 5 years, where in the West typically you have a moving from left to right every 4 years. That's not the case here, so it's very stable. And everything is focused on long term. At least the policies from the government are all focused on long term, at least 5 to 10 years.
So, I would like to add one more question here. So, in China, for different cities, they have different resourcing advantage. Even the policy, they have different to offering. They have some freedom to offer some policy support to foreign companies. So, if the foreign company move into China, so how do they know where I should start from? Which city I should stay for my first step? So, are there any factors you can suggest for them to refer to?
Yes, you should find a partner that has been here for a longer time that can help you find a suitable area for your industry or for your company. So there's no single advice. I can't say you need to go to Shanghai, Beijing, or Shenzhen. It's completely different for every company. So you need a local expert that has the most recent knowledge on where your company has the most chance to succeed. And this is invaluable advice that you must seek. You can't expect to build that yourself because it takes too long. So this is an expense that you need to make while you enter China. Wanted to maybe practice their instruments, and they are actually more using those boxes than the young professional that flashy with a laptop moves around in the city. So there are many options here that you didn't consider. That's always the case, and you can always be surprised. But be open to adapt to that, because if that's working, then that's working.
Especially seniors here have a lot of money.
Yes.
It's a good demographic to target. Maybe now it's about we talk more about adapting to China's new normal. We've talked about a little about the COVID, post-COVID era. Now that there are more competition in the market, more market maturity also, what kind of strategy do you recommend for companies to differentiate themselves in China?
It's hard for me for brands. If you're a brand, so if you're a B2C company, what you really need to do is a market investigation. I don't think there's a single advice that I can do than that. Do your market investigation, come here, experience it yourself, look at what the competition is doing and if they're successful or not. If you're a B2B, don't expect to come here with an end product. Or if you have an end product, let's put it that way, if you have an end product, you probably will face a lot of competition. But if you are a B2B company that makes a component for an end product, I've seen many examples of very successful companies that just focus on one part, and that one part is used in Chinese end products, and Chinese are more than happy to buy a single component instead of developing it themselves. So if you're in manufacturing or you're creating a single component that is used in an end product, the market is massive, and you can be very successful here.
Yeah, it's true. And with the quality that we can expect from overseas company for the producing components.
Yeah, quality, innovation. it does not say that there's no innovation on the China side, because typically what people are afraid of is, okay, but they copy my products, and but that's also part of innovation, right? Because typically they will make it better, either cheaper, use other materials, or even enhance quality or add more features. Also for R&D in China, it is a country that must not be overlooked. If you look at the number of STEM graduates here in China, it's almost 60% more than anywhere in the world. So there's a lot of bright minds that are educated and graduating here in China, much more than in the West. So a logical conclusion is that a lot of R&D and innovation is going to be done here, because they simply have more bright people to do so.
Yeah. Talking numbers, of course,
Yeah.
even the number of the population and the access to education in the past decades.
Has increased tremendously. So also that is China's speed. A lot has changed in the past 15 years. In the past 15 years ago, it was very normal for innovation to be brought into China. Now a lot of innovation is coming from China. That's just in 15 years. So you can only safely assume that this will just go on. It will not stop.
And I would say, we're talking about multinationals, and they have maybe centers for producing a manufacturing industry, etc. They have centers all over the world.
Yeah.
The cooperation between those different spots, might be good, especially if they take into account the talents in China.
Yeah.
Look toward the future. What industries or sector do you think will offer the most significant growth opportunities for foreign companies in China?
I think in the current stage that we are in, end of 2024, rising geopolitical tensions, I would say a B2B company that interests themselves in the supply chain here in China has the most chances of being successful. Like I said, the geopolitical situation is now that big brands, if you are a brand, you can be hit with political tariffs any minute. It is a slap here and a slap there, and who's chosen is, it seems, not very random, but you don't want to be in a position like that. So you better insert yourself as a component inside the supply chain. Then at least it's unlikely you are impacted very fast, very hard.
Okay, that's great. It's very insightful, actually.
So thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invitation.
We're so happy to have you here and to listen to your insights here. Okay, I think Thomas has accepted this kind of market enthusiasm. He's an expert at contact centers and AI technology. So we're looking forward to next time have more discussion.
Okay. You can have part two.
Thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you. We had the high five.
Okay.
Our podcast is crafted for business executives, global strategists, and investors who need to adapt to this new normal. Each episode features in-depth discussions with industry leaders, insightful analysis, and practical case studies that offer actionable strategies for succeeding in this complex landscape.
Tune in and be part of the conversation where the East truly meet the West. See you next time.
Thank you.